Amplissime cancellare, placeti tibi et officium incipiat.
Plaquette.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Encaenia celebration. It's one of the happiest days in the year as our students walk across the stage and are greeted by us who've really enjoy their happiness and their success on this day, and all of you gathered here today to enjoy this celebration. I ask you to please remain standing for the prayer of convocation given by the Reverend Canon George Porter, who is the Anglican chaplain with our campus ministry. George.
Let us pray. We gather here from the four corners of the world, coming from many parts of that world, many countries, many provinces, many nationalities, races, creeds, from the great diversity of Earth's peoples. Yet we've come here as a family, friends, faculty, and staff to give thanks for these graduating students. We give thanks for their lives, their studies, and their work, for who they are, for what they've learned, and for how they will offer their gifts and knowledge in our complex and challenging world. We rejoice in what they have achieved in earning their degrees as we celebrate what has gone before. We look forward to what is yet to come as they transition into the next phase of their adventures in the lifelong learning process. As we have gathered for these moments of thanksgiving and celebration as a university community, we will scatter from here once again to the four directions. Together, we ask for wisdom to grow from knowledge as these graduates in the sciences and nursing seek to address the questions of their time. We ask for courage to grow from character as they wrestle with the issues and dilemmas facing our world. We ask for strength to grow from experiences as they confront the challenges of their contexts. Whether they do great things or small things, we ask their freedom to do them with great love. Amen.
Thank you, George. Let me just reiterate again what a pleasure it is for all of us to be here to celebrate the success of our graduates. I would like to take this moment to introduce our platform party to all of you, but I would ask that you hold your applause until I am finished. Joining me on stage is Roxanne Fairweather, the chair of our Board of Governors. We have Alan Sharp, who's a professor emeritus honorary. How about you all sit down? And then if you stand up, you can all sit. Let me apologize. I guess my first word should have been, please sit down. Let's start again. I'm going to introduce the platform party, and I ask that you hold your applause to the end, and if I could ask them to stand up when I call their names. Roxanne Fairweather, chair of our board. Alan Sharp, professor emeritus honorary. Susan Chalmers-Govan, honorary degree recipient. We have our chancellor, Dr. Richard Curry. You just heard from the Reverend Canon George Porter. Anthony Secco, our vice president here in Fredericton. Gordon Mason, our orator. Ed Biden, the Dean of Graduate Studies. Robert McKinnon, vice president of St. John. I don't think Robert is here this morning. Greg Keeley, our vice president of research. Bob Skillen, vice president of advancement. Heather Nielsen, president of the Associated Alumni. Carol Laurie, member of our Board of Governors. Dave McGee, Dean of Science. Gail Storr, Dean of Nursing. David Hinton, the registrar of our university. John Neville, the Director of Graduate Studies. Michael Burt, Professor Emeritus. Larry Guittard, University Comptroller. Brian Baxter, Board Member. Mary Ellen McKinney, Board Member. David Woolnow, Board Member. Rob Parker, a Board Member. Sarah Deverin, University Secretary. Thank you all, thanks all of you for being part of this special day, and let us give them a round of applause. I will now call upon our Chancellor, Dr. Richard Curry, to say a few words. Dr. Curry.
Members of the Board of Governors, Mr. President, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, graduates. Welcome to the 183rd Encaenia of the University of New Brunswick in Fredericton. From humble beginnings more than 2 centuries ago, UNB has made its mark. Our founders, benefactors, and alumni have left behind them a legacy that serves our current students well. You are the beneficiaries of that legacy and the knowledge handed down through generations of students, faculty, staff, and alumni who've been associated with this university since 1785. During your time at the University of New Brunswick, we opened the Quartermain Earth Science Center, the new posh Pond Desponde Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, the Psychological Wellness Center, and this state-of-the-art multi-purpose facility. They were made possible by fellow UNB graduates, Bob Quartermain, Jerry Pond, Deshpande, and Nancy McFadgen, who was Nancy Webster when she was here. Your classmates have created new smartphone apps, raised thousands of dollars for local charities, managed more than $5 million in investments, and contributed to research and projects that are benefiting the university, and in many cases, the region. The work that you have completed and the experiences you have all had here contribute to the legacy you were given and now, in enhanced form, hand on to the next generation of students. Celebrate these accomplishments. Celebrate all your successes that brought you here today. You have earned your place in UNB's rich history. Be proud of that heritage. Be proud that today you become graduates of this great institution. As I look out on the crowd today, I see future leaders, visionaries, and innovators. I hope I also see young people prepared to accept responsibility as well as rights. I wish you all the best as you begin this next chapter of your lives. Congratulations to you, the class of 2012.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I would draw your attention to page 16 of the program. The medals listed there will be presented during our ceremony. All other medals and prizes appear below the recipients' names in the graduation list. These medals and prizes will be presented at faculty awards ceremony or can be picked up at the Financial Services Office in the IUC building. On behalf of the university, I would like to offer our congratulations to all the recipients, and let me express our sincere hope that you will maintain the high standards which you have demonstrated in qualifying for these awards. I would now ask our Vice President in Fredericton, Dr. Tony Secco, to assist our Chancellor, Dr. Richard Curry, in the presentation of the medals. Gentlemen.
Through the generosity of His Honor, the Lieutenant Governor, a silver medal is awarded each spring to the outstanding graduating student in each of the faculties on the Fredericton campus. At this ceremony, we will present the medals in nursing and science. I would ask each winner to come forward as your name is called to receive the medal from the Chancellor. The Lieutenant Governor's Silver Medal in Nursing is awarded to Sarah Latif Mahmoud. Lieutenant Governor's Silver Medal in Science is awarded to Eric Donald Rajan Pond.
At this time, we will confer the honorary rank of Professor Emeritus. The candidate will be presented by the Vice President Fredericton.
The Professor Emeritus distinction is awarded only to retired faculty members. Criteria for the honorary rank include teaching performance of exceptional merit, extensive research, publication of unusually high quality, creative contributions to the administration and development of the university, and a record of professional conduct that indicates fair and ethical treatment of students and other members of the academic community. Candidates must be approved by the university's Board of Governors. It is now my pleasure to invite Dr. Alan Sharp to come to the front of the platform. Professor Alan Sharp to be Professor Emeritus in Physics. Alan Sharp joined the Faculty of Science in 1975, and during his 34 years at UNB, he provided exemplary service to his students and to the university. Dr. Sharp had the reputation of being an enthusiastic and inspiring teacher. It was not unusual for his Physics and Society class to have 150 students, many of whom were from outside the Faculty of Science. Dr. Sharp's enthusiasm for teaching was matched by his enthusiasm for his research, which focused on nuclear magnetic resonance and magnetic resonance imaging. He has authored or co-authored 33 refereed papers and has supervised several master's and PhD students. On many occasions, he took his love of physics outside the department. He was active in developing outreach activities, including a weekly science and technology program on the UNB student radio station. Dr. Sharp was involved in the development of Renaissance College and taught leadership and public policy courses there for several years. His colleagues have recognized his skills as an administrator, noting that during his time as chair of the physics department and later as dean of the science faculty, he fostered an environment in which personal and academic success could take root. In addition to his academic activities, Dr. Sharp served as chief negotiator and president of the Association of UNB Teachers, as president of the Canadian Association of University Teachers, and as co-chair of the Academic Pension Fund for UNB. He also served on numerous UNB committees, including Senate and the Information Technology Strategic Planning Task Force. Insignissime praeses, amplissime cancelari, tota universitas, commenda vobis Alanum Sharp, ut ei conferatus honoris causa titulum professoris emeriti in hac universitate.
Ego confero tibi, Alana Sharp, ob munera tua huic universitate dio et insignitur explita titulum ac statum professoris emeriti in universitate Novi Brunswicki. We will now proceed to the conferring of an honorary degree. The recipient will be presented by the University Orator, Dr. Gordon Mason. Gordon.
Susan Chalmers Gauvin to be Doctor of Letters. What were they thinking? It's hard to imagine the conversation that must have taken place in Moncton over 10 years ago. Let's create a ballet company and base it here in Moncton, and we'll travel all over Canada and to the States and to Europe. And oh yes, it'll be financially successful. Well, improbable as it may seem, that's exactly what happened. A native of Fredericton, Susan Chalmers-Gauvin graduated from UNB with a Bachelor of Arts degree and subsequently a master's degree in sociology. She began her career in home care, first with the New Brunswick government, and then as provincial director of home care for the Canadian Red Cross. From there, she moved to the Stellar Consulting Group to provide management, planning, and evaluation services to a variety of nonprofit organizations and First Nations communities in Atlantic Canada. In 2001, Susan founded the Atlantic Ballet Theatre of Canada, indeed based in Moncton. Unique in having artistic director and co-founder Igor Dobrovolsky as sole choreographer, and a sophisticated business and export model, she garnered government and private support to launch the project. With high artistic standards, it was soon noticed in the places that count, so that if only after 6 years, the company had established a national and international tour schedule with performances in the United States and Europe. In 10 years, the operating budget grew tenfold to $2 million. In 2009, Susan initiated a project that combined the ballet with her previous background in social work. Celebrate Courage addresses violence against women and girls through the arts. A short ballet that was prepared as a fundraiser for the Muriel McQueen Ferguson Foundation here on campus was expanded to a full multimedia production, Ghosts of Violence. Premiering at the National Arts Centre in Ottawa in February 2011, Ghosts of Violence is still touring in theatres and high schools across Canada. The production is supported by Departments of Education and Justice, the RCMP, and associations of nurses and social workers to raise awareness of the issues involved. Susan is active in her community as a member of various boards, including the advisory board of the Ron Joyce Centre for Business Studies at Mount Allison University. She has won several business awards, as well as the Greater Moncton YWCA Woman of Excellence Award. In creating an organization that treats arts organizations under a quasi-business model, by maintaining high artistic standards, and by using the arts to achieve social change, Susan has shown what hard work and a singular vision can do. We are proud to honor her today. Insignissime praeses, amplissima cancelari, tota universitas, presento vobis Susanam Chalmers-Gauvin, ut admitator honoris causa ad gradum doctoris in litteris in hac universitate.
Ego admitto te, Susanam Chalmers-Gauvin, honoris causa ad gradum doctoris in litteris in universitate Novi Brunsegi. It is now my privilege and a great pleasure to invite Dr. Susan Chalmers-Gauvin to address this insignia.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, members of the platform, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow graduates, I'm truly honored to be here today, and especially to have the opportunity to speak to all of you. I'd like to talk to you about possibilities and what lies ahead, or at least what I've learned about that in my own experience. Shortly, you will hold in your hands a piece of paper, your degree. Unfortunately, it will not guarantee you a job, but it is significant. Your degree represents discipline, perseverance, commitment, sacrifice, respect, reliability, hopes, and dreams. It is this combination of qualities that brought all of you here today, and these are the attributes that you will need to succeed from this point forward. I'm being recognized today for building an international standard professional ballet company in a location where no one thought that was possible. Atlantic Ballet Theatre of Canada was built from the ground up, and it is a remarkable achievement. But what is perhaps more remarkable are the vast numbers of people who did not think this was possible, and in large part due to our location in the province of New Brunswick. That attitude began with the national press in 2001, the year our company started. An article written in the Globe and Mail, no less, wrote about our startup and described Moncton, New Brunswick, our home, as follows, and I quote, "A city carved out of the back bush of New Brunswick, better known for its Tim Hortons and shopping centers than its culture." Not much possibility in that statement. And from there, the list and all the reasons why Atlantic Ballet Theatre couldn't happen continued. In building our company, we faced a chorus of naysayers. They were there when we began in 2001. They continued when we started touring across Canada in 2003, and when we started touring in Europe, Germany, France, Belgium, and Switzerland in 2006. When one of our dancers here in New Brunswick was named in Maclean's magazine as a rising star in Canada and named in the Globe and Mail as a dancer's company would kill for. When we were the cover story of Dance International magazine, not once, but twice. When we had our New York debut in 2009. When one of Europe's most prestigious dance agents, representing some of the top dance companies in the world, invited Atlantic Ballet Theatre to be part of their roster. And even last year, when we were invited to Bonn, Germany, to create a world premiere at the acclaimed Bonn Theatre. The naysayers were there through all of it. And yet here we are, 11 years later. There are a couple of important points to be learned from this about possibilities. First of all, location isn't what determines success. Success is built. It means having a vision, taking risks. It means failing at times. It means having a plan, and it means an awful lot of hard work. If you have a plan and you're prepared to work for it, don't let anyone tell you that what you dream to do is not possible. It simply isn't true. And whatever you do, don't listen to the naysayers. And believe me, they will always be there, and they will find you. Next, keep your opportunities open. When I graduated with an arts degree in sociology many years ago, I certainly never thought in my lifetime that I would start a professional ballet company. And in fact, 12 years ago, I couldn't have imagined it. And yet here I am. Don't limit yourself. Don't assume because you're graduating today in nursing and science that you need to pursue your career there. You may bring a new perspective to a field that very much needs it. Your ideas and expertise may shake things up and create possibilities that simply weren't there before. Be open to those possibilities and opportunities, and even an adventure or two. You never know where your star will rise. Now, I would like to take a moment to talk about a project that our company has undertaken in the past couple of years, and one that is very important, especially for your generation. It is the original ballet created by our company called Ghosts of Violence. And Ghosts of Violence is touring for the next 3 years across Canada. Like our company, this ballet is not typical. It addresses a very real social issue, violence against girls and women. The ballet is inspired by the stories of 23 women murdered in New Brunswick by their intimate partner. And the question I'm asked is, why would a ballet company do that? No one has done it before. Well, because we're focused on possibilities. And this is where the role of arts and culture is so very important. There is no discipline that nurtures and sparks the ability to imagine and unleashes creativity and innovation more than arts and culture. There is no approach that breaks barriers, connects across cultural differences, and engages our shared values more than arts and culture. There is no investment that connects us to each other, moves us to action, and strengthens our ability to make collective choices more than arts and culture. We're doing this because we know the arts can make a difference. But each of you can also make a difference. This issue is vitally important for your generation to understand, each and every one of you. 51% of Canadian women have experienced some form of violence since the age of 16. Half the women in this room. Dating violence has increased by 40% in 4 years. 1 to 2 women in Canada are murdered by a partner every week. And the highest incident of death are young women between the ages of 15 and 24 years of age. Your age. How can you make a difference, and what are the possibilities? A big part of the solution is simple. Respect each other. Respect each other all the time. If we build our relationships and our communities based on respect, we will eliminate violence. Remember, you can make a difference. It doesn't matter where you live. Look for possibilities. Make a plan and pursue your dreams with every effort. Finally, I'd like to say a few words about the institution that you're graduating from today. When you have a moment, take the time to look at the alumni of the University of New Brunswick. You will find leaders in every field of endeavor. Today, when you stand on the stage and accept your degree from this institution, you join that talent pool. As a graduate of the University of New Brunswick, you have achieved the foundation to succeed. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Chalmers-Gauvin. You know, we picked very special people to give these honorary degrees to, and I don't know about you, but I thought that was inspirational. I hope you're all inspired to change the world. And now it's your turn. We now proceed to the conferring of degrees in course. May I extend to all of you who will graduate here today the very warmest congratulations of your university. When you first came here as a student, you became a member of the UNB family. And today, all of this family, from our administrators, our teachers, our faculty, our staff members, your colleagues, your friends, are sharing in your pride at having achieved this very significant milestone. We recognize here today your hard work and sacrifice, and we wish you every success and every happiness in the future. We hope that you will always value what you have learned here, and that you will forever remember your alma mater with great fondness and great affection. As each of you receives your degree here today, you will be presented with a University of New Brunswick alumni pin by the UNB Associated Alumni. We will begin with the bachelor's degrees, and they will be followed by the master's and then the doctoral degrees. Candidates for the bachelor's degree will be presented by the University Orator.
The bachelor's degrees of Science, Medical Laboratory Science, and Nursing. Will the candidates please remain seated for this application? Insignissime praeses, amplissima cancellari, supplicant senatui et huic venerabili collegio gubernatorum, hi baccalaureae vel scholaris in facultate scientiae, in facultate nutritia. Quorum nomina ac studia iam rite cognita sunt et promulgata, ut adventantur ad proprium baccalaureae gradum in sua quisque facultate.
Placete vobis senatores, placete gubernatorius, uti supplicatores admittantur.
Would the candidates for all the bachelor's degrees now please stand for presentation by the orator and admission by the president? Insignissime praeses, amplissima cancellari, tota universitas Praesento vobis hosce supplicatores in supradictis facultatibus, ut admintantor ad proprium baccalaureae gradum in sua quisque facultate, testorque illos, quod omnia quae statuta nostri requiant, aptos et idoneos esse.
Ego admitto vos ad gradum baccalaureae in Universitate Novi Brunswicki.
Please now proceed in your assigned order onto the dais for individual acceptance. The Dean of Science, Dr. David McGee, will present the Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Medical Laboratory Science diplomas. Bachelor of Science with honors, Dennis Lawrence Arsenault. Brittany Lynn Beatty. Alyssa Joy Brewer. Trevor Thomas Bringlow. Stacy Marie Connors. Jonathan Armel Daigle. Mercia Rasvan Davidescu. Joanne Elizabeth Delaney. Ashley Megan Dispaquali. Caitlin Marie Fallow. Zachary Nicholas Haynes. Richard Galen Hanlon. Patrick James Horseman. Michael Joseph Landry. Michael James Ross Lawson. Allison Bailey McEachran. Michael Joseph Harold McLean. Rebecca Colleen McBriarty. Elena Catherine Victoria Ann McIntyre. Jassy Meng. David Jacob Neighbors. Eric Donald Rajan Pond. Dylan Wesley Schneider. Shobi Singh. Ellen Claire Rowland Snyder. Colin Darrell Sunnickson. Rebecca Ann Standen. Kyle Thomas Trabulsi. Kenneth Gordon Richard Wilson. Bradley Alexander Casey. Jacqueline Michelle Chesson. Cassandra Rita Caldwell. Lauren Elizabeth Ellis. Reese Mullen Ems. Melissa Dawn Flanagan. Michael Ralph Johnson. Andrew William Jocelyn. Samantha Lee Knorr. Gabrielle Marie Levesque. Slobodanka Lukanovic. Mark John McLaughlin. Tyler Patrick Nugent. Michael Owen Richards. Janica Elena Smith. Robert Miles Wheel. Craig Mitchell Barry Yonker. Bachelor of Science, Cody Robert Alderson. Samantha Dawn Bland. Desmond Dale Connolly. Raymond Vernon Chase. Alice Jane Cunningham. Kristen Elizabeth Doucette. Michael Patrick Fries. Jason Daniel Levesque. Samantha Lynn McPherson. Vanessa Kathleen McKnight Whitford. Melissa Simone Mulhern. Erin Catherine No. Jill Elizabeth Rickard. Caitlin Amelia Spares. Alana Catherine Ward. Leslie Ann Boyd. Christopher Albert Bruce. Tim Jack Chisholm. Jessica Kaylee Cogswell. Stephanie Erin Craig. Bruce Philip Dreyer. Matthew James Mark Dunphy. Kayleen Ann Fallow. Chantal Faye Fern. Andrew Scott Ferguson. Joel Evan Folkins. Andrew James Forgy. Ansika Kapalni Gwanaratni. Hannah Louise Hamilton. Catherine Sands Fraser Hamilton. Bryony Leah Hazlitt. Emma Jamie Hawkins. Jessica Ruth Hawkins. Kevin Alexander Kyle. Adam Joel Langille. Louisa Kaiden Lao Kilo. Mi Jiang Li. Thomas Eldon McKenna. Luke Robert James McKim. Jody Elizabeth Mullen. Tyler Andrew O'Brien. Jessica Rayanne Seward. Shuo Shi. Adam Jacob Sepkema. Christopher David Small. Nathan David Tranquilla. Christopher William Vale. Megan Elizabeth Waite. Sean Stephen Robert Wood. Michael Darrell David Yorston. Zachary Ross Young. This concludes the granting of the Bachelor of Science degree. The Bachelor of Medical Laboratory Science, Yana Louise Bubar. The Dean of Nursing, Dr. Gail Storr, will present the Bachelor of Nursing diplomas. Bachelor of Nursing, Shayna Marie Beers. Heidi Elizabeth Belknap. Danielle Maria Betts. Sasha Dawn Bringlow. Julie Margaret Canning. Caitlin Louise Chestnut. Sarah Dawn Clouston. Kayla Brittany Collett. Jessica Marie Como. Taylor Marie Cormier. Tammy June Cornish. Micheline Elkawi Davis. Deborah Doiron. Paula Marie Donovan. Mallory Elizabeth Drost. Allison Michelle Edgecombe. Emily Susan Flett. Megan Marie Flager. Alicia Elizabeth Fullerton. Jocelyn Jean-Marie Gallant. Jamie Lynn Godet. Lori Dawn Gifford. Nicole Lynn Glavine. April Lynn Grant. Chantal Christine Haley. Melissa Alexandra Hilsey. Roxanne Myrna Legere. Darcy Ann Leggett. Sari Ashton Lomax. Debbie Maureen McDonald. Sarah Dawn McLagan. Syra Ratif Mahmood. Tara Lynn McCabe. Philip Donald Joseph McGee. Jennifer Karen Morrison. Stephanie Ann Murray. Nicole Ashley Pooley. Jenna Marie Robichaud. Sarah Margaret Ross. Samantha Jeannie Roy. Jill Marie Savoy. Abigail Margaret Soller. Justin Shane Tallman. Kathleen Serena Taylor. Amber Dawn Terrio. Sasha Dawn Thompson. Alicia Catherine Thorne. Jamie Lynn Vance. Chelsea Nicole Vino. Dawn Eden Wortman. Laura Claire Acorn. Caitlin Danielle Arbo. Annie Diane Obi, excuse me. Natasha Danielle Boone. Sarah Elizabeth Higgins Boyer. Rachel Olivia Broom. Samantha Marie Brown. Kellyanne Marie Buckley. Janelle Victoria Cantafio. Rita Emily Chase. Rebecca Elaine Connolly. Donna Lynn Cormier. Tiffany Marie Couture. Caitlin Marie Crocker. Brianna Laura Jane Marie Crookshank. Monica Krista Cullen. Julie Lee Day. Brittany Grace Dean. Cassandra Elise DeRoos. Sarah Elizabeth Doyle. Chad Nelson Shelby Efford. Laura Dawn Essen. Shanna Elizabeth Everly. Daria Lee Fallon. Amy Victoria Falloon. Julie Claire Fournier. Kelty Ray Fox. Stephanie Shirley Gallant. Gloria Gina Godet. Kimberly Dawn Gillette. Sarah Lynn Grass. Leanne Emily Green. Joanna Lowell Griffin. Robin Mary Elizabeth Hamilton. Ashley Sarah Hebert. Sarah Kate Hiltz. Ryan Walter Joy. Lindsay Ann Keenan. Haley Elizabeth Keyser. Lindsay Elizabeth Law. Victoria Elizabeth Leachman. Amanda Carol McDonald. Laurel Shelby McDonald. Amy Marie McLean. Jessica Mary McPherson. Mary Christina Maddox. Kaylee Ann Mallory. Matthew Vincent McCormick. Amanda Gail Francis McCoy. Sarah Lynn McIntyre. Cara Brooke McKay. Amanda Sylvia McKinney. Jill Elizabeth McManus. Lacey Dawn McPhee. Bridget Anna Marie Melanson. Tiffany Marie Mott. Emily Ann O'Shea. Lindsay Dawn Lee Parker. Vicki Karen Lynn Pargalant. Andrea Paul. Suzanne Elizabeth Plourde. Vernon Allen Plume. Krista Esther Richard. Nicole Deborah Ricketts. Barbara Elizabeth Rogers. Laura Christine Shannon. Lauren Elizabeth Claire Smith. Kelsey Sophia St. Amand. Tara Louise Sullivan. Mary Ann Elizabeth Thomas. Jamie Aaron Tracy. Nicole Elizabeth Weaver. Lacey Marlene Welton. Burnley Martin Joseph Whitney. Jessica Ann Wiley. Brittany Shannon Williams. Michelle Ann Williams. Joelle Carol Wilson. Allison Leah Wright. Jennifer Lee Archibald. Josephine Lynette Carson. Brittany Lynn Collins. Bradley Charles Hargrove. Donna Beth McElveen. Natasha Mary McIsaac. Brittany Elizabeth Morehouse. Yolanda Lee Phillips. Angela Elizabeth Robinson. Olena Roussel. Fearon Ann Seaman. Natalie Leanne Seiler. Caitlin Amelia Spares. Annalisa Tolanen. Shannon Marie Tremblett. Lacey Dawn Waite. This concludes the granting of the bachelor's degrees.
There's some pretty interesting stories in that group. There is one nurse who is graduating after some 10 or 11 years at it because of family obligations. And I had a great story yesterday when I stopped to talk to one of the people who works here, a man who paints, and he was telling me his daughter graduated today, the 8th of 8 children to graduate from UNB. I think that's pretty amazing. Each and every one of you has your own story to tell. Makes us feel pretty good about the role that we play in helping you along. We shall now confer the master's degree in course. The candidates will be presented by the Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. Ed Biden.
The master's degrees in science and nursing. Candidates will remain seated for the supplication. Insignissime praeses, implicime cancelare, supplicant senatui et huic venerabili collegio gubernatorum hi baccalaureae vel scolares in facultate scientiae, in facultate nutricia, quorum nomina ac studia iam rite cognita sunt et promulgata, ut admittantur ad proprium magistri gradum in sua quisque facultate.
Placetne vobis senatoris, placetne gubernatores, ut hi supplicatoris admittantur.
Placet. The supplicants for the aforesaid master's degrees will stand for the presentation and admission by the President. Insignissime praeses, implicime cancelare, toti universitas, presento vobis hosca supplicatoris in superdictus facultatibus, ut admittantur ad proprium magistri gradum in sua quisque facultate, testorque ilios quoad omnia quae statuta nostra requirant aptos et idonius esse.
Ego admitto vos gradum magistri in Universitati Novi Brunswicki.
You will now proceed in your assigned order on to the dais for individual acceptance. The Associate Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. John Neville, will present the master's diplomas. Master of Science, Alex James Bubar. Scott Eldon Greer. Holly Christina Labadi. Cherise Michelle McWilliam Hughes. Danielle Suzanne Purley. Yask Nayan Shalat. Master of Nursing, Sarah Ann Aldous. Terry Dick. Catherine Mabel Hurley. Stacy Ann Lassard. Amy McFarlane. Anne Marie Nolan Ballum. Lisa Purley Ducher. Kate Janet Shepard. This concludes the granting of the master's degrees in nursing.
We shall now confer the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy. The candidates will be presented by Dr. Biden.
The degree Doctor of Philosophy candidates will stand for the supplication. Insignissime praeses, implicime cancellari, supplicant senatui et huic venerabili collegio gubernatorum. Henry Mosimabale Agbogan, Geology. Alexa Alexander Trusiak, Biology. Mark Bernard Biren, Geology. Haito Liu, Mathematics. Shane Patrick McCarthy, Chemistry. Pillai Venkata Saranyan, Biology. Magistri vel baccalaureae ut admittanter ad gradum doctoris philosophiae.
Placetni vobis senatores, placetni gubernatores, ut haec simplicatrix admittanter.
Placet. The candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy will come forward and stand before the dais for admission. Insignissime praeses implicime cancellare toti universitas presento vobis hosca supplicatoris ad admittantur ad grad philosophiae doctoris, destorque ilios quo ad omnia quae statuta nostra requirunt aptos et idonios esse.
Ego admitto vos ad gradum philosophiae doctoris in universitate Novi Brunswicki.
Please come up on the platform. Henry Mosimbale Agbogan. Dr. Agbogan studied the diffusive movement of solutes in rock pore fluids using X-ray computed tomography. His findings will contribute to our understanding of waste containment in underground facilities. Alexa Alexander Trusiak. Dr. Alexander Trusiak examined the effects of pesticides, nutrients, and predation rate on aquatic ecosystems. Her research, which is already being used by the United States EPA and Environment Canada, examined why combinations of some contaminants tend to be more toxic than expected. Mark Bernard Biren. Dr. Biren investigated large-scale rock deformation caused by asteroid impact. His findings will contribute to a greater understanding of impact crater formation on Earth and other planets. Haitao Liu. Dr. Liu investigated the relationship among holography, conformal field theories, and gravitation. His findings will contribute to a deeper understanding of the holographic principle in theoretical physics. Pillai Venkata Saranyan. Dr. Saranyan investigated how cell size influences damage to proteins and stress competence in fish. His findings will contribute to our understanding of the effects of temperature stress at the cellular level. This concludes the granting of degrees in course.
Congratulations, graduates. Please note that an English translation of your diploma has been placed inside the folder behind the parchment. In 2011, on the occasion of UNB's 225th anniversary, a new tradition was introduced, the UNB coin. I'd like to thank all of those who made this tradition possible, from the committee who worked hard to get the coin just right, to the associated alumni who made a significant financial contribution in support of the project. We hope this coin will carry your individual memories of a life-changing experience here at UNB and serve as a reminder that when you combine an ambitious goal and personal dedication, you can attain anything. Maybe more importantly, let the coin be a symbol that you were, are, and will always be a part of our family, the worldwide family of thousands of UNB alumni who work to better our world each and every day. We hope you hold your coin with pride, as we are certainly very proud of you. We know you leave us with more knowledge, a greater sense of community, and the potential to make a significant difference in the quality of your own lives and the lives of those you touch as you take the next step in life's journey. Congratulations on a job well done. I now invite representatives of UNB's faculty, staff, and alumni to present the 2012 UNB coin.
This year's graduating class is continuing a legacy that was introduced in 2010. It's called Pay It Backward. The idea is that the current graduating class will gather together to help those graduating the following year by providing funds for student prizes. The grad class legacy project does have a unique twist, focusing rather on participation than the amount of dollars raised. The goal of the 2012 grad class is to inspire 100% of the graduating class to support the program with a dollar contribution to create 3 student prizes for the class of 2013. I would like to congratulate and commend the 2012 grad class coordinators, Cassie McKinley and Bradley Gibson, as well as the numerous volunteers who helped out, also for the very significant time and effort they've dedicated to the activities of the grad class this year. They're still hard at work. They tell me that donations to the Pay It Backward Legacy program are accepted at the diploma framing stations here in the lobby and at the Encaenia Tea following the ceremony. I do want to take the time to thank each of you, the graduating class of 2012, for the contributions you have made as members of our community. What you have given to us as volunteers, as athletes, as club members, as mentors, as friends, and as students in our classrooms will always be remembered and appreciated. And now you will be welcomed to, as new alumni, by Heather Nielsen, the president of the UNB Associated Alumni. Ms. Nielsen.
Good afternoon, graduates. Welcome to our exclusive club. The club is the Associated Alumni. Now, we're a large group. There's over 70,000 graduates from UNB around the world. But each and every one of you is extremely important. When I talk to alumni, I like to ask them to share. I would like you sometime to share your time with the university. We have a lot of people that work today on graduation that were sharing their time, helping us get dressed today. Those were volunteers. Everybody can do that. I hope you will share your talents with the university. You could perhaps someday be on an advisory board. We have faculty advisory boards. We have a dynamic board of governors. We also have a dynamic alumni council. I hope you will think of sharing with us. And someday, you may consider sharing the last T, and that is your treasure. The Alumni Association has been around for 150 years, and there is a tradition that yesterday's students help today's students by contributing to scholarships and awards. I know that some of you have received scholarships and awards, and I want to thank any of you who have written to thank the Alumni Association. We really appreciate those letters, and it's wonderful to hear your story about how it's helped you with your education. Congratulations to all of you on this special day. Be proud of your hard work, and remember that UNB grads make a significant difference in our world. Our alum are world-class researchers, entrepreneurs, teachers, nurses, engineers, and pioneers. In many ways, we punch well above our weight. Sometimes we're a little timid about telling the world about how great we are. Well, we're not going to be timid anymore. I want you to be proud of your accomplishments, be passionate in what you do, and give back to your community or to your family in some way. Please keep in touch. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a good day.
Again, this year, the graduating class has asked that the valedictory be presented at Encaenia. The valedictorian for this ceremony is Hansika Gwanaratna of Columbia, Sri Lanka, who received a Bachelor of Science in Biology today. Hansika, if you would come forward and say a few words. Thank you.
Whether it was stress, excitement, confusion, feelings of overwhelm, disappointment, or delight, I've tried to remind myself to do what had to be done at a given moment and not to regret doing so. Do it right, do it right now. Anonymous as the source of that quote was, it was in fact an almost soundtrack to my past year. Although there would be no guarantee that whatever it was I intended to do would always be the right choice of action, it was nevertheless exactly what I wanted to do. It was my outlook that as long as I had the drive and motivation, there was no reason for regret in trying. I stand here today with absolute joy and confidence that I've tried everything in my power to realize my goals so far. I'm optimistic that my colleagues of the 2012 graduating class share similar outlooks. My UNB experience has been tremendously gratifying and one that I'll certainly reflect upon time and again. And I'm very pleased to be given the opportunity to reflect upon it this morning. I would like to thank Mr. Chancellor, members of the Board of Governors, Mr. President, distinguished guests, ladies, gentlemen, family, friends, and most importantly, my fellow graduates from the science and nursing faculties for being here today to celebrate this very special occasion together. First, I'd like to congratulate my graduating class. What a momentous event this is. We had looked forward to this ever since we got onto campus 4 years ago. Our shared experiences have taken us through quite the grand journey, and together we've made it through to its end. The friendships we developed and the familiarities we learned to sense about one another, and also each other's memories which we are now a part of, will forever allow us to reminisce that journey. I came to Fredericton as an international student originally from Sri Lanka, who lived in the United Arab Emirates for several years before coming here. And the welcome that I received from UNB was incredibly encouraging and accepting. The concept of familiarity must have been foreign indeed, whether you're from as far as I am or even from the wonderful city of Fredericton itself. If not all of you, then at least most of you struggled with finding something familiar to you when you first arrived here. You may have been one of those students who took a picture on the first day here at UNB with your friends from high school who also came to UNB. Orientation events may have made a difference to your introduction to UNB, and gradually you would have met those individuals whom you now deeply cherish. It may be true that in between the process of finding the familiar, which once found, took us down another path, progressing towards finding our place in it. The way that I found my identity within UNB was a gradual process, as I'm sure it was for us all. We've had to deal with various academic, social, and personal circumstances thrown our way as university students. I believe that if we intended to, each and every one of us have plenty of stories to pour into our very own biographies spanning the past 4 years of our lives. I volunteered and worked within various departments and organizations at UNB and earned a mass of knowledge for myself in the process. My involvements allowed me to make some beautiful friendships, and they also taught me an immeasurable amount regarding being a leader, a responsible adult, and most importantly, my capacities as an individual. I'm confident that we share similar experiences within different contexts, of course, because various aspects of our time at UNB best and undoubtedly contributed to all of our individual self-discoveries. I've always wished to pursue a career in medicine, and those goals for my future studies have not changed. However, the ultimate accomplishment following the experiences at UNB has been the discovery of all other passions of mine, which 4 years ago I couldn't have known or been able to pinpoint, since I was unaware of my confidence to try. Now I've discovered the satisfaction in doing so without regret. I gained more knowledge than I imagined possible and developed new interests. I hope that all members of my graduating class here today took advantage of everything that UNB offered to us. We may indeed share some regrets as with life, although I know we are proud to be at this stage of our lives at this very moment today, having tried our best despite any regrets. As it was the case with me, I believe that there are more of you who were influenced and touched in some way, not just by the graduating class here today and our classmates, but the rest of the UNB family as well. So I'd now like to turn to address the university administration, faculty, and staff. The administration played a valuable behind-the-curtains role in our academic careers. As a graduating class, we are privileged to have met those dear faculty members who shared their wisdom and knowledge with us. I will forever be inspired by what I learned from them. I was privileged to communicate directly and openly with most faculty and staff as my involvements on campus allowed for that time and again. I met wonderful staff members who enhanced my campus experience, and as I went through some personal struggles, I was treated with the utmost respect and understanding by them. I wish to especially thank them for supporting me throughout my journey. Thank you also to my dear friends who put a smile on my face on a difficult day. I'm grateful to have met you and to continue to have you in my life. As indebted as I am to them, I would finally also like to thank my family, namely my parents and my sister, for their love and support without which I would not be here standing in front of you. Mom and Dad, thank you for always wanting to give the best of everything to me. I owe you my happiness because UNB has been the best experience of my life to date, and you made it possible. Dear graduates, I'm confident that your life goals will be realized and that you will accomplish all that you deserve. With an university degree under your belts, the world awaits you to make it a better place. I hope that you will contribute to a generation that respects, cares, and gives. You're part of a family that extends across the globe. Bring UNB with you everywhere you go, and have UNB ingrained in everything that you do. Do remember to keep trying and to never regret, because we close onto our goals through our determination to reach them. I would like to leave you with these final words. Do it right, and do it right now. If you have those principles ingrained in your life, and take confidence in all of your strides, you will meet your goals, and you will surpass your dreams. Thank you, and have a wonderful day of celebrations.
Thank you, Hansika. On behalf of the Chancellor, the Board of Governors, the Senate, and the faculty, I extend to all who have received degrees here today our most sincere congratulations on your achievement and our very best wishes for the future. I also want to say thank you to the St. John's String Quartet, David Adams, Larissa Chitty, Christopher Buckley, and Sonia Adams, as well as trumpeter Robert Dutton for providing the music for this, our 183rd Encaenia. I also have to thank all of those who have assisted with the arrangements for this ceremony. And I want to let you know that at the conclusion of this ceremony, you are all cordially invited to attend the Encaenia Tea in McConnell Hall, the building located just across the street from the Curry Center. I'd also like to mention that, again, that the Associated Alumni will be offering a diploma framing service at that tea. Before we break, I just have a couple of things I'd like you to do. I'd want to draw your attention to the Fred Ross mural at the back of the hall on my left. That's a mural that represents death, disease, and destruction on the left, and on the right, my right, the benefits that accrue to those who are able to acquire an education. It's actually a really interesting mural. I invite you to take a look. It has a long history. We're very proud to have it hanging here in this Convocation Hall. I also want to take a moment to ask each of our graduates to reflect on the people who helped make it possible for you to be here today. Some of you had a relatively easy journey to this day, but many of you struggled hard, sacrificed much to be here as our graduates. Many of the people who helped you are actually able to be here today, but not all. I want you to hold those people dear in your hearts, and I'd like you to stand up and give them all a big round of applause, please. Please be seated. For just a moment, it is now my pleasure to invite Emily McCrae, who will be graduating this afternoon with the Bachelor of Business Administration degree, to come up onto the platform and lead us in the singing of O Canada. So I want everybody to rise, and I would ask that you remain standing until the academic procession has retired at the end of the anthem. Ms. McCrae.